Hello and welcome to Racers Now for the usual Thursday night show. Looking forward to all the top class racing this Saturday, the 11th of October. We're at Newmarket and a bit of York. Chepstow's on as well, but does anyone care? We might mention that a bit later. Fresh off two winners on the SD dailies today, including one in the 8:15 at Chelmsford. So, of course, SD is once again showing a profit in October already. We're 9 days in and he's 11 points up already. Flat season here on Racers Now is nearly coming to an end. Ends on the 18th, next Saturday on Champions Day. And SD's daily tips are only 74 points in front on the daily tips. And the YouTube tips are only 91 points in front, including a 66-1 place, 9-2 winner, and 11-4 winners last Saturday. SD, that's enough trumpet blowing. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I see you've got your school uniform on, sir.
Yes, I look the part today. I look the part, yeah. Try my very best.
Yes. Very, very, very good. Very professional.
Right. There's a couple of anti-post bets up earlier in the week. They've both been declared. SD selections. We'll touch on them as we go. We're going to Newmarket SD. That's where the main action coming from on Saturday. The 115, no bets for you in this, I don't think. But I am having a bet. There's only 6 runners. So that's the first question mark, and SD is going to almost fall off his sofa when I put one up each way. But you can get 2 places a quarter. I'm thinking, why not? It's a third of the field. It's only like backing each way in a 9-runner race and getting 3 places.
No, it isn't. I'll explain to you why that's just a nonsense. It's a nonsense. It's not an each-way race. You will inevitably get more on the place market. Inevitably. I will show my arse if you don't get more than, let's say, I don't know what horse you're going to put up. If you're going to put Liberty Lane up, which is 7, you're almost certainly going to get more than 7 or 4 on the place market.
Yeah, you might well be right, SD. I might play the place only market as well in the day, but it's normally only on Betfair. It's a bit awkward for this.
It's not just on Betfair, is it?
It is usually, let's be honest.
No, there's fixed place markets.
I'm putting one up. It's 12-1 SD. It's the outsider of the field. That might help in explaining why I'm going each way. I don't think there was much between the 2-3-year-olds at the top of the market. SD's put one of them up anti-post. Gladius wouldn't argue with that. He's already on anti-post at 5-1, 1 point win. It's 4-1 now. Damisis is up there in the top as well, having won in France last time out. Both could make a good argument for them, but I think they're not particularly bomb-proof. First Conquest.
Just wait there a second. I'm Daddy Daycare. You keep talking because I've not got a bet.
Okay, well, you have because SD's on anti-post. I might put SD on mute while he deals with Daddy Daycare. The one thing I would say here is First Conquest, although he is talented, he's the highest rated horse in this race. He is older than a couple of the other ones, so he carries more weight. He's rated 111. But I just wonder if First Conquest is a Maidan horse that Charlie Appleby's keeping busy. He has alluded, not particularly with it or directly with this horse, but he has alluded before that they have certain horses that they just basically keep busy from time to time with a view to going back to Maidan. This horse has already been to Maidan twice in his life, or for 2 different Maidan seasons in his life. He ran at Newmarket in April. He then had 3 months off. 4 months off, ran at Haydock in August. Then he's had another 63 days off. I just think they're trying to keep him busy for Maidan. He won there 3 times over the winter last time. So I would be against First Conquest. Liberty Lane, not really done it.
Is that you doing your Sigmund Freud impression of trainers, which you do every week?
Yeah. So I'm with Mr. Rizz, SD. Is the outside or joint outsider of the field. Yeah, I just think he looks too big a price to me. He was second in that horrible 3-runner conditions race at Goodwood, where he was dragged all the way across the track by Oisin Murphy and Royal Playwright. Watch that one back. He didn't debut until April this year, and I just think he's improved with every start. He'll have to improve again, but there's no reason why he can't on what we saw at Goodwood, where he wasn't able to show his best. It is a slight shame about the each-way angle, but yeah, I think Mr. Rizz is too big in here at 12-1, and I'll be having a bet on him. Simple as that.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I wouldn't fancy him one iota personally. I'm quite happy where I am on Gladius. It's a trappy race. I mean, I think it is just worth pointing out that obviously a couple of the older horses, a la Liberty Lane and First Conquest, are a couple of pounds clear on official ratings. I think I think they could improve past. I think it's a pretty weak affair. Used to be a very good race. This it used to be the last day of Champions Day when Champions Day was a good day.
I knew that was going to come in, yeah.
And they used to get
when
15
Champions
runners.
Day was a good day. Come on, SD. We're going a week early here having this argument. We can all live in dinosaur land where they only get 7,000 or 8,000 people at Newmarket to watch a Group 1. I bet there wasn't that many people there last Saturday for their Group 1. But we've got an end of season at Ascot now, all on one day. They've added a 2-year-old race. There's 5 Group 1s, and people like you still try and be
because it definitely it doesn't make sense with the pattern. It's usually run in a bog, but it might well not be this year. Might well not be this year. I will put that horse up, by the way, I was talking to you about later on.
Okay, I'll type that up.
Type that up. But yeah, I'm much. I remember seeing Bosra Sham win this day in the Champions Stakes against Howling. It was one of the all-time great races.
I remember when pick and mix bags used to be 10p at the shop.
You were merely a tadpole in your dad's ball sack.
I was, but I'm sorry, I wasn't alive when.
You probably were. It was 96. How old were you?
Exactly. I was doing better things than going racing at the time. Anyway,
how old were you?
7. On to the 150.
I was at Kelso when I was 7.
Oh, you probably was. You'll be there when you're 47 as well, no doubt. On to the 150 then. This is the Zetland Stakes. This is a 10 furlong, 2-year-old Group 3. So it's a rather specialist race for 2-year-olds at this time of their career. I couldn't find a bet in this one, to be honest, SD. It just wasn't a race for me. But it is a race for you.
Yeah, it is worth pointing out Charlie Appleby has won 3 of the last 5 renewals. You'd have thought Aidan would have a good record in this. He doesn't necessarily.
Kiprios ran in this. Did Kiprios win?
Yeah. Can't remember if he won it.
Hugh Gardens won it.
Yeah, but not in the last 5. I was just looking recently. You've got to, they change with the times. You look at the Guineas. I thought Mr. Colonel was interested at a price. He was second to August George on debut when noticeably green. August George has backed that form up with a plum. Was second in a race at the Curragh at a massive price behind Dorset. I mean, that's pretty good form. That is pretty good form.
I'm going to mention Dorset later on.
Didn't necessarily go on last time, but there were a few. There were a few. Funny results. Let's just. Sorry, I'm now on the iPhone. Funny results are there. Stepping up in trip. Look, it probably needs to find something, but I didn't have it as a 22 shot. I wouldn't want to be laying much more than 12, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take it, SD. Good selection.
Cheap pieces are on.
Nothing from you. Nothing from me in that race. In the 225, we're swapping roles here because there's no bet from SD. But I'm double dipping in this race, SD. A 7-runner race, and I'm.
Are you going each way again?
Well, maybe on one.
Lord help us.
No, but SD, you can get each way 3 places.
Okay. I was about to say it was mathematically inept, but maybe or not. Maybe or not. Maybe you're the next Carol Vorderman. Get your fake tits out.
Maybe. No, I like the new version. What's she called? Carol Vorderman's too lefty for me.
Yeah, Rachel Riley. Yes. The thinking man's crumpet.
Yes. 225 Autumn Stakes, 1 mile, Group 3 for the 2-year-olds. As always, at this time of the year with the juvenile races, we have form in the book versus unproven, untapped potential. But this Hankelow is the former. He's the one with more proven form in the book. He has only had 2 starts, to be fair, but there's quite a few of these. The next 4 surrounding Hankelow in the market are straight out of maiden or novice races. One race, they've all had 1 race. Anyway, he was second in the Flying Scotsman when we last saw him at Doncaster. That's okay form. It's okay. It's not going to knock your socks off, but it's okay. This is only a Group 3, 1 step up from that. I think he should be favourite, and he's actually going to be around 3rd favourite on the basis at the moment. They are similar prices to each other. Alzanate, okay. August George. You mentioned August George, didn't you, a minute ago? He was,
Yes.
he was a neck in front of August George. Straight up is the Aidan O'Brien horse that's won a maiden by 3 lengths last time. So they're the ones with the untapped potential. But I think Hankelow represents decent standard of form at this time of the year in this race. He's 3-1. I think he maybe should be favourite above these at the moment. I'm happy to play him, like I say, against the 4 closest to him in the market are all on the back of 1 start. They might be great. They might be good. We're going to find out. I'm going to make a shout out as well, SD, on that 3 places angle to an outsider in the field in this one. Bang outsider. This Glacius. The form of his novice win at Newmarket in August isn't particularly great. But I'm going on the back of his run at Haydock in the Pinnacle, or is it, sorry, the Ascendant, where Publish was second. Bo Echo won easy, but he was 4 lengths in front of this Glacius. But didn't get the clearest to run through, and I think that represents good form. I just wouldn't have him as the outsider of the field here. It's probably, in fairness, a 1/4 of a point each way type bet, but I'm swinging because I need miracles really to get.
You are a swinger, aren't you?
So I am swinging a bit, but no, I did want to give Glacius a shout out. I just think that form behind Publish and Bo Echo might prove to be pretty decent. Billy the Kid doing the riding. I like Billy. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that Ascendant at Haydock is working out well. Obviously, Bo Echo won, and Cheyenne won that farce of a race at Win when you're in at Epsom, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the angle I'm going with. That's the angle I'm going with.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that one. I couldn't see your first one, but I can see that one.
No, that's fine. I'll take that. On to the 3 o'clock then. This is the Group 1 feature of the day. Dewhurst, 2-year-old 7 furlong. You know the script here. The Roll of Honour is absolutely outstanding. SD will go further back than me, but Frankel, Churchill, Tudor, Pinatubu, St. Mark's Basilica, Native Trail, Chaldean City, or Troy Shadow Alike. Maybe not the latter. Yes, really, really good race usually. And I think this is a good
Milk It
renewal.
Mick. Who remembers Milk It Mick?
Not me. I think this is a good renewal. I do like this race, to be fair. 9 in there at the moment. 7 of the last 10 winners have been favourites. No surprises with some of the names that I've just called off. Plus another one was joint favourite. So that's 8 out of 10, really. Distant Storm won a course and distance Group 3 by nearly 5 lengths last time. It's no surprises to see him favourite. We've got the 1st and 2nd from the National Stakes over in Ireland. That being Zavateri and Gustad, my old mate. 1st and 2nd, they were. Oxagon, 2nd in a Group 2 last time. Winner won a Group 1 last weekend. That was Puerto Rico. The form of his most recent couple of runs is working out well, that Oxagon. Alphonse won as easy as you like for Colberg on Irish Champions Weekend in one of their sales races, I think it was, or a conditions auction, one of them type races. Plus, we've got the Acomb winner, plus a couple of Charlie Appleby horses at big prices. Charlie Appleby will often run 2. He did last year in this race. In these types of races, but the second choice wouldn't be anything bigger than double figures. In this race, he's got Saba Desert that won the Superlative, no less. He's at 28-1, and Pacific Avenue that has been, knocking on doors in Group 3s and Group 2s last time, again behind Bo Echo and in the Solario. He's 66-1. I think Pacific Avenue will be the pace angle. Clearly, that's not don't take a genius to work out, and it might set up well for Distant Storm. But I just thought it was interesting that Charlie had those at much bigger prices. You don't often see him running in
Are you tipping one of them?
No. Do you want me to tell you who I'm tipping? I fancy this one. This is my bet. This is my bet of the weekend. My bet of the weekend is Italy. I had my eye on him last week. I would have backed him if he ran in France. He didn't. They won that race anyway in Puerto Rico. He was very well backed, this Italy. He was second choice on jockey bookings in that national stakes. Very well backed that day. Was way too far back at the Curragh. I say this nearly every time I talk about the Curragh. Don't be caught too far back. You want to be in the van at the Curragh. He was way too far back. He made a nice sweeping move, travelled really well. Nice move up the straight. Looked like he was going to really threaten, but Zavateri and Gustad had gone. And I think when the race was gone and out of his hands, really, the jockey down tools late on, to be fair. Wayne Lorden gets on today, or gets on today. Ronan Whelan last time. I think he was pretty eye-catching there in the national stakes, and he's around 4 or 5 times the price of the pair that he faced that day that, like I say, that had got away from the front. I think that national form could be solid. We'll find out, obviously, in this race. The front 3 are running. I think Italy's better than the rest in this race, away from Could well be better than the rest away from Gustad and Zavatieri. Distant Storm, maybe not. I quite like him. He's 11-1. He was 14-1 earlier when I backed him. You mentioned Dorset earlier, SD. Dorset was basically a pace setter in that national stakes. He was fourth on the day. He's come out and won the Goss Million last week. So that Dorset form intertwines as well. But I do like Italy. I think he will run well.
Pulled a bit hard, didn't he?
He did. I think I can just see them coming because there's going to be plenty of pace on with the Godolphin angle. I think they'll drop him in. I think he'll travel well again. I hope he's not too far back because Newmarket's another track where you don't want to be too far back. But I do think that Italy will run well in this. I really do.
Well, I suppose he's beaten Distant Storm, hasn't he? Who did pull hard in the Aiken, but Distant Storm was very, very good here last time. I mean, I priced this up earlier, and I wouldn't want to be laying much more than 13-8 Distant Storm. I think he looked absolutely fantastic last time. I think he's improving with racing, and I think he's the best horse in this. I will just say, Gustad. I don't know. I just wonder if he's got a bit of temperament about him. He's certainly come to win the race and just hasn't really put it to bed. Well, the penultimate run he was outpaced, but last time I thought he should have put it to bed. Look, Zavatieri, he's pretty hard to know, but surely at some point something improves past this horse. And I think it'll be today. And I thought it was fairly simple. I thought Distant Storm would win this.
Yeah, fair, that's a fair opinion to that. It is a good renewal, as we've said. We've got the Acomb winner, the Acomb third, the first three from the national stakes, which is basically the only Group 1 in Britain and Ireland we've had over this distance so far for the boys. Gustad, I know we've been over this, and I did back him, and I'm talking from my pocket, but I'm coming around to agreeing with what you've just said, SD, because when he hit the front there at the Curragh, and I'm quite pessimistic when it comes to betting, and my bets, as you well know, I thought he'd won. And he didn't. So whether that is Zavatieri being excellent, he's unbeaten in 4, or whether that was Gustad just showing a little bit of vulnerability, we'll find out a little bit more on.
We will.
Saturday. I mean, no doubt Gustad will win with 0 pence on.
I don't like putting them up certainly around that price, but I made him a 13-8 shot.
Yeah, that's all fair comments from SD. We looked at the Cesarewitch earlier in the week, where SD threatened that he was going to be putting up this Belgravian with Nick Curry on earlier in the week, and he was waiting for Dex, and so be it. That one's been declared. I mean, this to me, SD, it's not usually my kind of party, although I do have a bet. But when you've got Tony Martin, Charles Burns, and two Willie Mullins shots at the top of the market, what subject I'm gonna bring up here, SD. The other week, 2 weeks ago, we had the Cesarewitch with 24 declared in a 35 runner Maxfield. This in the Cambridgeshire. This week we've got 21 runners declared in a 32 Maxfield Cesarewitch. Are we allowed to comment on it, or should we just put our head in the sand?
I made my comments on Monday about it.
Which were?
Well, look. The problem is, if we listen to you, to be quite honest with you, after this, I'd be ringing the fucking Samaritans. You're a very pessimistic man,
Yeah.
The one thing I will be watching in this race...
It's not a positive, is it? It's not a positive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it bloody is.
It's not a positive.
Yes, it bloody is.
These are the racers at the end of the season, or any point in the season, the autumn double, big fields across that massive Newmarket straight, and we can't even get the runners. These are feature handicap events.
How many are running?
21.
Just answer these questions.
21.
Right, okay. So, viewers, in the comments, you tell me what you would rather have. For a punt, from a punting point of view, would you rather have 21 or 32 running? Because I know which one I'd bloody well like.
I'm just going from the
look,
health of the sport.
I'm sorry, we're not heading to some Armageddon stakes because the Cesarewitch has 21 runners in a year.
I think
it's
that
just sensationalist
it's not a
poppycock.
standalone. It's not a standalone incident or
No,
example, is it?
am I really arsed from a punting point of view if the Cesarewitch goes from 32 to 21? No, I actually quite welcome it.
Who's going first, yourself or me? I mean, you're on Belgravian, so you might as well explain that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just a very, very progressive 3-year-old. I think was backed off the boards last time, wasn't it, in the Cez trial? Probably just didn't get the run of the race. I can forgive that. He's improving at a rate of knots. He looks well weighted to me. Featherweight has a touch of je ne sais quoi, and I thought double figures was fair enough. I think he's certainly on the up.
Yep, no surprises there. SD did mention that one earlier in the week and has now pulled the trigger. Are you double dipping, SD, as you usually do?
I am, because I do like Alphonse in this.
Did you tip this last year when it won?
Yes, when it won, then there was all that bullshit with the whip, wasn't there?
Did it actually cross the line first? I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
And then they had a mess around.
Yeah. Gone to Tony. Tony is a very good plot trainer. Just looks like they're just getting it pitch perfect. They know what sort of mark it can win off. You know, he stays. A lot of horses do not stay the Cesarewitch trip. I can't stress enough. Might be slightly different this year. They may go slightly slower because of this absolute dearth of runners in a 21 runner field. But nevertheless, I thought Alphonse should be clear favourite, to be honest, and I thought 7 was fair enough. That's the way I want to play the race. Something at a bigger price if you're looking at this.
Well, I'm about to give you one at a bigger price.
The Pipe Horse has a chance of running into a place at a huge price.
Pipe Horse, which is ridden by Amy Waugh. Bashful Boy, 8 stone 2.
Older than you.
I've got absolutely no idea about that horse, but it's a 9-year-old.
Stay all right.
Okay, Fireblade for me, SD. You'd have probably bet odds against for me to be tipping in this race this weekend. I'm just having a little go on him. I like how he's been running and improved when being stepped up in trip. He did everything but win last time at York. Go and watch that race back. Career best effort.
I was there.
He might have hit the front a little bit too early or got nearly at the front or raced alone a little bit. But yeah, go and watch the replay. There was 3 of them cross the line. A short head split the 3. I think he's a horse on the up. I like Dylan Cooner. He has had a pretty quiet year, actually. I thought I would expect more of him this year, but he's battling away. Yeah, he's 33 to 1 Fireblade. You can get 5 places a quarter with that bet. Oh, we're going over to York then, SD, for the 2. You've got an anti-post bet in one of the York races, which we will touch on. But first, in the 205 at York, this is a 10.5 furlong handicap at 205.
Yes, put the selections up because the phone's just ran out of battery. Okay, so I can make the case. I'm ad-libbing a bit.
Well, this is the favourite. You can say it because I might struggle.
Put it to win as well. It was 9-2 earlier. I was quite happy to. Yeah. I was quite happy to back it each way, but I can't with good conscience back it each way at 7-2. So
I was going to ask you that, yeah.
Yeah. So Erzindjan. Yeah. Easy enough. I thought an absolute cracker in the Cambridgeshire. You love this angle every year. I'm surprised you're not on it. Marquand's doing the steering.
Wrong side in the Cambridgeshire.
Was the first home, wrong side in the Cambridgeshire, relatively lightly raced this year. I thought he was by some way, and I'm sorry for keep tipping favourites, but at least they're a decent price. I thought he was by some way the most likely winner.
Yep, that was a Cambridgeshire SD tip. The winner at 16 to 1 and the 5th at 66 to 1. So not too bad from the main man, SD. Right, swiftly moving to the 315. This is the feature at York on Saturday, where there'll be 4,000 students there, SD, for those that are going. And they have got a max field at York, as they do regularly, a 22 runner, 6.
All hail William Derby. I'm surprised. Yes. I'm honestly surprised the amount William Derby does for racing, that he's not been knighted yet, even though I absolutely fucking hate going to his racecourse. Anyway,
I love York, by the way.
You would love York.
Just to balance it out, we don't always have to go with what SD says all the time, and have to agree with SD. Yes. It's not quite a dictatorship around here. The 6th.
Do you have William Derby's number in your phone?
Probably.
Right, thank you. I think that rules you out.
Yeah, but
I mean,
do you have Robert Whitelock's number in your phone from Hexham?
well, yes, I do.
Oh, well,
but
there you go then. So, there you go. So, who's the winner? Who's the winner? You flipping.
I think you look at him on a. I think you deal with him on a more professional basis, and I think it's fair to say that it's a bit like asking Harold Shipman's opinion of a chemist.
SD, you dug yourself a hole there, and I pushed you in. Right.
Yes.
Talk to me about the
Fuck's sake.
3:15 6 furlong handicap, please.
Well,
anti-post. That's what you're on, Jordan.
well, the Jordan Electric. Look, I must. If it's a low draw, I'm a bit buggered here. If there's a low draw bias, I'm hoping there won't be. There hasn't necessarily been that this year. Jordan Electrics, the going stick readings are a bit low today from dearest Anthea Lee.
Did I read that the middle was quicker at York, or did I read that wrong?
They look bloody slow to me. The bloody phone's run out of battery, so I can't give them. But they look. I remember thinking, crikey, they look slow. But realistically, the weather's been fairly benign this week. It should be dry. And I know it's October, but Jesus Christ, you wouldn't think they're going to be on hot, deep ground by any means. The faster the better for Jordan Electrics. I think very well weighted with Northern Ticker on that run at the Ebor meeting. We made the case on Monday, and I thought 25s was perfectly fair for the old boy. I don't know what he is now. He's probably the same price.
Yeah, he's a similar price this year. I saw it earlier. I think he might be 22, so fair play.
Oh, wow.
He's been declared. So
all rejoice. All rejoice.
Right. You know what's coming now? The SD double dip in a big field handicap.
Well, we do love a double dip, and this Gleneagle Bay, I think they just like going back to 6. Certainly, some of the efforts in Ireland, if you dig in enough, make this horse look very, very well weighted in a field of
100% agree.
Fairly, yes, you do. Fairly exposed handicappers. Let's face it, it's typical. This race is actually usually run in a bog, and it's a bit easier to solve. But I think he's got a pretty good chance, and I would not be at all surprised if he went off favourite.
Yeah, I thought that he was an eye catcher in the Irish Lincoln way back when. I thought he probably should have won at Leopardstown over Champions Weekend in a race that might
well have... He was hammered, wasn't he, that day?
He was absolutely smashed up in a race that was probably a bit tougher to win or a bit better quality than this race. Second at Galway last time. I would admit that I've not actually watched that race back. He was beat at 5-6 favourite in a 6-runner race with a 3-pound claimer on. Yeah, same mark here as what he ran on Champions Weekend. Big chance. SD, earlier
Why don't you put him up?
No, because to be honest with you, I've not looked at a single York race until I've clicked them to introduce them to you. And I saw Gleneagle Bay, and he is a horse that has been on my radar. But you're tipping him, so I don't need to. I was just backing yours up.
Oh, well done.
No comment on any other runner at York on Saturday. Earlier today, SD, regular viewers of the races now will have seen yours truly doing a fantastic one of SD's favourites monologue on the old Champions Day, which is next Saturday. So I've tipped up 2 horses, 12-1 and 66-1. Click the link to find out who they are. SD has now got the opportunity to put up a horse anti-post in the Champions Day if he wishes. Fire away.
Well, I will do.
In typical SD fashion, sorry to interrupt you. In typical SD fashion, SD is ignoring the 5 Group 1s that make the card next Saturday, and he's going to the Balmoral Handicap.
Well, does it matter? Does it matter if I put a 25-1 winner up in the QE2 or a 25-1 winner in the Balmoral Handicap? Do you know what? I tell you what bloody matters. It all matters. The only thing that matters is that.
Yes.
And there's some Scottish in there.
Yeah, and Hexham's number
anyway,
on your mobile phone.
Yeah, I thought 5th column, I believe, looking at the long-range forecast, there is a very, very quiet forecast. Where it's going to be a Champions Day, which is unusual. I alluded to it earlier. It's usually run in hot, deep conditions. I remember, they nearly ended up abandoning one year. Sometimes it's on the jumps course, etc., etc. I don't think it's going to be the case this year. I thought 5th column you just look at some of the summer runs. He's still a very well handicapped horse.
I put him up for the Cambridgeshire and he didn't show.
He didn't, but he probably didn't stay. And I think this sort of race is going to suit him. So, John, I know you watch. You and Rachel will be sat with your Horlicks now.
And say the name.
The real Slim Thady. Yes. Make sure that you declare fifth column, because you might have in the back of your mind, oh dear, it's gonna be a jumping ground, and so we might put him away for next year and find a listed race for him next year. No.
Well, SD, I'm more involved than you, but you're involved on the John and Real Slim champion trainer bet, which is unlikely. But if they have a big day next Saturday, and they could, we might resurrect our bet there. And
we could do with them winning the Dewhurst. I don't think they will. That would help.
No, I mean, so they could have Trawlerman's odds on. Field of Gold makes his return. I think there's question marks over him. They've got Danielle, one of your a horse that you used to like in the Filly and Mere Stakes, plus another contender in there.
She needs a bit of cut.
She does. They've got Ombudsman, who's current favourite for the champion. They've got this fifth column potentially, hopefully, in the Balmoral. God knows what's going to happen in that conditions race. Have you even looked at that, the new race on Champions Day?
No,
there's no entries, but it's a 6 furlong conditions race. 250 grand to the winner. I don't
is
think
it needed. Is it really needed? I didn't think it was.
I would say no. When they did the reshuffle for Champions Day, which SD speaks about every year, a couple of 2-year-old racers went from Ascot to Newmarket, and a couple of much higher profile racers went from Newmarket to Ascot, namely the QE2 and Champions Day, or definitely the Champions Stakes.
Yeah, the QE2 was always run at Ascot, but at the end of September, when it made sense, on decent ground.
And for years...
Remember Rachty winning it. What a boy Rachty was. Rachty actually managed. You can't do this anymore. It was a great thing they used to be able to do. You could win the QE2 and the champion.
Yeah. You could argue on a similar vein. They used to once upon a time run the Middle Park and the Dewhurst like in a week of each other. Now you can actually do the double because they're 3 weeks apart.
That's a 2-year-old race. This
2-year-old race for me, I don't think you're going to get. All that'll happen eventually is the 2-year-old race on Champions Day. They'll end up getting it to a group race, then a Group 2, then a Group 1. Eventually, it might take God knows whatever.
No, I agree with you. I
don't know what horses it's going to attract this year round. That's what I'm saying. I think it'll look. Obviously, won't be. It'll look more like a Doncaster or York or Newmarket sales race.
Just on planning, you've had the Middle Park, you've had the Redcar 2-year-old trophy. There was a sales race at Newmarket over 7 last week. You've got the Rockingham at York this week, which is listed. You've then got this aberration on the calendar at Ascot. And I believe there's a 6 furlong listed race at Donny the week after. Somebody correct me on that. There's certainly the Horace Hill. I mean, look, less is more sometimes. It didn't need a 2-year-old race. I tell you what, I didn't actually mind when the Balmoral was an apprentice race, because it just gave the young jockeys a bit of a chance at a bloody big pot.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that either, SD. Because often, or sometimes, the champion jockey, obviously, and the champion apprentice is crowned on Champions Day. Often what happens is that the champion apprentice doesn't actually end up with a ride on Champions Day. And if the Balmoral...
I remember being at Catterick last year, and they were fighting it out at Catterick.
Yeah, I remember.
And speaking of that, the main race next week is at Catterick. It's Catterick Dash.
I know, but SD, you are going to say that tonight. You'll say it next Monday, and you'll probably say it next Thursday, and then you're going to Ascot yourself on Saturday.
I might not. It's all a little up in the air.
What's the betting then? Catterick or Ascot?
Well, there's also...
Or Newton Abbott.
Well, there's 4 in. I could be anywhere. You could do the dirty double next week as well. You could do... is it Wolverhampton at night? Because there's a possibility I could do Stratford Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
I could do the Abbot. I could do Catterick. I could do Ascot. I have yet to decide.
It would be excellent if you were at Ascot with myself, SD. Right,
Yes,
make
but
sure
you can pay me. You can pay me a nifty. Of course, this week we know where the best race it is. I know we've not touched on Chepstow. I am not dissing Chepstow, and I'm
Well, it
certainly
doesn't
not.
need to go to 3 days for a start. So there's your starting point on Chepstow.
No. Will you just listen? Will you just listen? I actually think it was a good move, and I know Mike Palsay agrees with me on this. Moving the Welsh Champion Hurdle to Chepstow because it is the premier course, and looking at the deck Saturday, you know they're pretty good in fairness. And well done to Chepstow for offering a ticket for 39 quid for 3 days. More please from other courses. That's really good. Well done. I think Dragon Bet have done. You know, the Lovels love racing. You look back to the great John Lovell, who is sadly no longer with us, but his sons are doing a really good job at promoting the sport. I think all that is good. But I have to say, I remember going to this fixture and Altior winning, and obviously that's then trotted out every year. But I think there is a degree of overhype. As somebody put on Twitter tonight, and it's very, very accurate. The first question out of something that wins at Chepstow, you know, which it's a long season. What's he going to go for at Cheltenham?
Oh no!
And this crescendo is starting earlier and earlier, and you know when it gets to Christmas time, it does your bloody head in.
I'm just looking forward to the next Constitution Hill Racecourse Gallop. That's what I really, really want in maybe October.
Oh, somebody, did you see? That was probably the tweet of the week. Somebody said his head carriage looked terrible last year, so that's what went wrong with him. His head looks a lot better this year, and I just asked him the question, did he lay it at 2-1 for the Champion Hurdle?
Yeah. Right, we've gone well over budget here, SD.
We have Hexham Saturday, great value, 12 quid now, 10 quid if you're over 65. Everybody's there. Paul Garrett's there, BK's there, and of course, friend of the channel.
Are you there, SD, on Saturday? Yeah, of course you are.
Of course I'm there.
Yes, I was sorry. I didn't. I just asked a question.
It'll be. You've got a nice dry forecast, and there is nowhere better to be than Hexham, of course.
And for Sunday racegoers like USD, you've got an option between Chepstow, which is 4 hours away, or Goodwood, which is 4.5 hours away.
I could do Chepstow in 2.5. I probably shouldn't say that live on air.
No,
I'm doing family activities.
Oh, good. Right, okay, we'll leave it there, and we'll be back Monday for some anti-post. There's plenty to look forward to. Thanks for tuning in.